The world stood at the brink of chaos. The air crackled with a strange energy, one that both mortals and gods could feel. An ancient prophecy whispered through the winds, one that foretold a battle between two unparalleled forces, a battle that would shake the very foundations of Earth and Olympus alike. Zeus, sensing the disturbance, summoned Hercules to Mount Olympus. "My son," he said, his voice heavy with the weight of centuries, "a force unlike any other has emerged. It is a creature of immense power, driven by uncontrollable rage. If left unchecked, it could spell the doom of both gods and men. You must stop it." Hercules, ever the dutiful son, bowed his head. "I will do as you command, father. Who is this creature?" Zeus's eyes flashed with a mixture of concern and resolve. "It is known as the Hulk." In another realm, far from the divine heights of Olympus, Bruce Banner found himself in a desolate landscape, battling his inner demons. The Hulk was not just a transformation. It was a curse, a living nightmare that Banner could never escape. Every day was a struggle to keep the beast within him at bay. But today was different. Today, the Hulk sensed something. A challenge, a threat, or perhaps a kindred spirit. Whatever it was, it triggered a surge of anger within him, an anger that Banner could not control. The transformation was swift and brutal. Banner's muscles expanded, his skin turned green, and his mind was consumed by the primal force that was the Hulk. The beast roared, its voice echoing across dimensions. It was a call to battle, a challenge to anyone or anything that dared to stand in its way. Hercules descended from Olympus, his muscular frame gleaming with the divine light of the gods. Clad in his lion-skin cloak, carrying his golden mace, and armed with the confidence of 1,000 victories, he stepped into the mortal world. The air was thick with tension as he arrived in a small, isolated village at the edge of civilization. The villagers, sensing something terrible was about to unfold, had fled, leaving the streets eerily empty. Hercules walked through the deserted streets, his senses sharp, his every step echoing with the promise of confrontation. In the distance, a massive figure loomed, the Hulk. Towering and menacing, he was a force of nature, his muscles rippling with barely contained fury. He was a creature of pure instinct, driven by rage. And as his eyes locked on Hercules, it was clear that battle was inevitable. Hercules and the Hulk faced each other in a vast open field. The earth trembled beneath their feet, as if even the world itself feared what was to come. Hercules tightened his grip on his mace, his eyes narrowing as he assessed his opponent. The Hulk roared, a sound that seemed to shake the heavens. Without warning, he charged, the ground splitting beneath him as he closed the distance between them in a matter of seconds. Hercules, ever the warrior, sidestepped the initial assault and brought his mace down with all his might. The impact was catastrophic. The ground exploded beneath the force of Hercules' blow, sending shockwaves through the earth. But the Hulk was no mere mortal. He was a force of nature. He absorbed the blow with a snarl, his rage only intensifying. What followed was a battle for the ages. Hercules and the Hulk exchanged blows that could shatter mountains, each strike a testament to their incredible power. Hercules fought with the precision and skill of a seasoned warrior, his years of training and countless battles evident in every movement. The Hulk, on the other hand, fought with raw, unbridled fury, his strength increasing with every moment of the fight. For hours they fought, neither willing to back down, neither able to gain the upper hand. The world around them seemed to crumble under the force of their battle. Trees were uprooted, mountains shattered, and the very skies seemed to darken with the fury of their conflict. As the battle raged on, it became clear that Hercules was facing a challenge unlike any he had ever encountered. The Hulk's strength was limitless, fueled by an anger that seemed to have no end. But Hercules was not one to give up. He was the son of Zeus, a hero of legends, and he would not be defeated. In a moment of clarity, Hercules realized that brute strength alone would not be enough to defeat the Hulk. He needed to outthink his opponent. Using his agility and experience, Hercules began to change his strategy. He lured the Hulk into traps, using the environment to his advantage, tried to wear down the green behemoth, but the Hulk was relentless. No matter how many times Hercules struck, no matter how many traps he set, the Hulk kept coming, his rage fueling his every move. It was a battle of wills, and neither was willing to concede. As the battle reached its climax, the gods of Olympus watched with growing concern. They had never seen Hercules pushed to his limits like this. Zeus, in particular, was troubled. He had sent his son to defeat this creature, but now he feared that even Hercules might not be enough. In desperation, Zeus considered intervening directly, but the fates, ever watchful, warned him against it. This battle is not just a test of strength, they said. It is a test of character, of will, of what it means to be a hero. Let it play out, for the outcome will shape the future of both gods and men. Reluctantly, Zeus agreed. He watched as Hercules and the Hulk continued their battle, knowing that the fate of the world hung in the balance. The battle had taken its toll on both warriors. Hercules, his body battered and bruised, stood panting, his golden mace heavy in his hand. The Hulk, though still seething with rage, was also showing signs of exhaustion. But neither was willing to give up. With a final primal roar, the Hulk charged once more, his fists swinging with the force of 1,000 storms. Hercules met him head-on, summoning the last of his strength. The impact of their clash sent shockwaves through the air, creating a crater in the earth. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The world held its breath as the two titans grappled, their strength evenly matched. And then, with a mighty heave, Hercules managed to lift the Hulk off his feet and slam him into the ground with all his might. The ground shattered beneath the Hulk's weight, and for the first time in the battle, the green behemoth seemed to falter. Hercules, sensing victory, pressed his advantage. He raised his mace for a final strike, intending to end the battle once and for all. But as he looked down at the Hulk, something stopped him. He saw the pain and rage in the creature's eyes, saw the struggle within him, the struggle of a man trying to control a beast. Hercules hesitated, realizing that the Hulk was not his enemy, but rather a kindred spirit, a warrior trapped by circumstances beyond his control. Lowering his mace, Hercules stepped back, offering the Hulk a hand. This battle doesn't have to end in death," he said, his voice calm. "Instead, we are both warriors, both bound by forces we cannot fully control. Let us end this fight before we both lose ourselves to it." The Hulk, still breathing heavily, stared at Hercules for a long moment. The rage in his eyes slowly began to fade, replaced by something else. Understanding, perhaps. Respect. With a grunt, the Hulk took Hercules' hand and allowed himself to be pulled to his feet. The battle was over, but its effects were far-reaching. The world had witnessed the clash of two titans, and both had emerged changed. Hercules, who had always relied on his strength to overcome challenges, had learned the value of compassion and understanding. The Hulk, who had always been driven by rage, had found a moment of peace, however brief. As they stood together, the gods of Olympus watched, impressed. Zeus, in particular, was proud. "My son, you have done well," he said, his voice echoing through the heavens. "You have shown that true strength lies not just in power, but in wisdom and restraint." Hercules nodded, understanding the lesson he had learned. "Thank you, Father, but I could not have done it alone. The Hulk, Bruce Banner, is a warrior in his own right, and he deserves respect." The Hulk, still in his transformed state, looked up at the sky, sensing the presence of the gods. He didn't fully understand what had just happened, but he knew that something had changed. He felt a sense of calm, a rare feeling for him, and he realized that perhaps he didn't have to be ruled by his anger. With a final nod of respect, Hercules and the Hulk parted ways. Hercules returned to Olympus, his mission complete, while the Hulk, slowly transforming back into Bruce Banner, wandered off into the wilderness, seeking the peace that had eluded him for so long.